So here with us, Mr. Amit Sinha, who is a speaker at our 4G World India event.
Thank you for having me here.
Mr. Roy, how do you see? We have been talking about the 4G adoption, the 4G. I mean, it's the very hot topic today. On the B2 side, we have been hearing a lot. So how do you see on the enterprise side? What role do you see Tata Communications playing in the 4G arena?
So if you look at the enterprise space, as I was chatting about even on the panel discussion, critically there are applications today that are tethered inside the enterprise because they require high bandwidth. And these are absolutely specific to the industry, to those companies, and some of them are even mission critical. For example, solutions which allow companies to collaborate and communicate within specific work groups on projects, right? So, for example, even a simple thing like a teleconference today, when people are in the office, out of the office, mobile, landline, some on the PC, some on VoIP, you have a very mixed, service level in terms of the voice that you get. With a 4G solution, you could actually have HD voice, which would be rolled out, and then you could also have HD voice conferencing solutions, which gives you complete clarity across even a simple, humble voice call, right? Voice was being talked about as thing of yesteryears, but certainly it continues to be some very important communication medium, right? And then if we layer video onto that, application sharing, screen sharing, being able to collaborate across a work group in the enterprise, that actually can be enabled with 4G or 4G type of solutions, where you're no longer tethered or inside the office. You can be anywhere. You can be at home, you can be in the office, at the airport, right? And you can participate in an immersive video conversation or a telepresence with a telepresence-like experience, and of course, even connected to telepresence rooms if they're participating, and be able to be much more productive. So the unified communication collaboration solutions, the productivity solutions, the rich media, rich content solutions that enterprises really depend upon in terms of their internal usage, as well as sometimes even with external parties. So could be suppliers, could be customers, right? These kind of applications could very well be far more ubiquitous with a 4G type of a solution.
So do you see businesses basically going to take a massive advantage of those kind of collaboration tools with the 4G kind of services in future?
Absolutely, and I think that this is just poised for a great takeoff. So far, the applications have really not been able to harness the bandwidth that's been there in mobility, because like we were hearing from some of the speakers today, so some of these applications have actually been under-engineered, right, so that they can work and harness the low bandwidth kind of situation that's been there.
Right. So in terms of the bottlenecks, or I would say the key inhibitions from enterprises, you must be interacting with a lot of CIOs while taking this collaboration route and utilizing the benefits of 4G technology. Are there any concerns maybe related to security or something else which you could highlight?
I think typically the apprehension always comes around cost, right? If you increase the bandwidth, what's the cost going to be? And now that we're talking about mobility, although it's not an area where we provide services, but what I hear in the market is, what's the data plan going to look like, right? Is it something that's, would you have potentially unlimited packages, or would it be limited? What's that costing going to be when you compare to a terrestrial line, right? So these kind of questions have to be answered by the service providers before there is a mass scale enterprise adoption, because the enterprise will also look at the total cost end to end in terms of rolling out such solutions. Because if we are going to say, anywhere connectivity, anywhere, unified communications, collaborations, there is a cost associated with that. What is that cost, right? In terms of security, certainly that's always a question, because now you have a faster network, so you have more data, so potentially you could lose, data faster if somebody breaks through. But then there are solutions available, there are security management capabilities and services available that will protect that. And 4G per se being IP end-to-end gives you better connectivity and better control and management of the end device because you have IP connectivity. So from a machine to machine or from a security perspective, it can be made far more secure than what we have today on the 2G and 3G devices. So I wouldn't put that as too much of a worry as long as those solutions have been implemented properly. But certainly from a perspective of cost, rollout, uptime, coverage, I think these would be typically, if I wear the hat of an enterprise CIO, I think those would be the kind of questions I would have on my mind, right?
In terms of your solution portfolio, what are the new innovation which you are working upon?
You will see us coming up in a big way in unified communications and collaborations. Last year we launched JAMV, and JAMV has been evolving and we are adding features and functionality to that, so watch that space. And what it actually allows is an immersive video experience and ability to collaborate from any device, be it a smartphone or a tablet or a PC or a telepresence room, and across all these at the same time. The other area you may have been seeing in the media is about our data center, right? So our data center footprint is growing not only in India but globally. And globally we are growing with partnership with other best-in-class service providers. So you'll be seeing us actually becoming a much bigger player with more capacity, more locations, more capabilities in the data center space. So clearly data center, unified communications, collaborations, these two are the big ticket items for us moving forward. We are of course enhancing our networks and our traditional lines of business, of course they are, but these are the big things that we are like to highlight.